3, 2, 1. We are live. Welcome to the next episode of the MMAngst Podcast. This is number 47. I'm your host, as always, Ben Cohen. Joining me today, as usual, we have Alejandro and Bilal today. Say hi, you guys, because we have to move.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hi. Hola.
There we go. We both said hello. We're going to jump right into it. But before we do that, please make sure to share, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us, follow us on Twitter at MMAngstP, YouTube, SoundCloud, and buy my beef jerky at Ben's Beef Jerky, at Ben's_beef jerky on Instagram. You can also message me on Twitter at AgentBen10. You can find me on Facebook, whatever you find me on. Message me that you want beef jerky, and I'll ship it to you. It's really fucking good.
Well, I'm still waiting for my beef jerky, Ben.
You don't
Where's
live
mine?
in the continental United States, so please live there, and then you will definitely be able to get some.
Fuck you, that's racist. You just don't like Africa, don't you?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's not the insane shipping costs, right?
Obviously. What else would it be?
Well, then you better pay those insane shipping costs, and I'll guarantee that you'll have some beef jerky, okay?
What if it
All
gets
right.
lost in the mail?
So a couple things happened last night. There was a UFC, not last night. This was actually Friday night. We had Reyes Weidman, but just a brief mention of the bare knuckle fighting thing. Gabriel Gonzaga fought quote unquote Bigfoot Silva. Listen,
He was paid to punch his face.
There was. Well, maybe he was paid. I don't actually know. But hopefully there was payment. But this was hard to watch, and it did not go well, obviously, as expected. Bigfoot Silva got knocked the hell out, and it's really, really scary and sad at this point. I mean, the guy's got what? How many knockouts has he got on his record? He got one. He's lost one kickboxing.
At least 3.
He's got 10 knockout losses in MMA, 1 in kickboxing, and now 1 in this bare knuckle crap. Not including anything in training. It's dangerous. Like, somebody needs to stop. They need to stop sanctioning his ability. Like, he can't fight. It's not. They need to stop this before he dies. It's just horrifying at this point. And yeah, I mean, not much else to say. Shame on bare knuckle for doing this shit at this point. Like, it's just really fucking disgusting, in my opinion.
Dude, they signed Wanderlei Silva.
Yeah, I know. It's just this,
and it's not long ago that he was saying that he was suffering from symptoms of CTE.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like it isn't. Yeah, so it's not like they don't know. Like, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, it's fucking obvious, my friend.
It's hard. It's hard to. This is where being a fan of the sport's really, really hard, because you just look at this shit and you're like, this is fucked, and it's just
It's the dumping grounds of MMA, pretty much. Like, you, so long as you have the semblance of a name, you have a place there, and clearly, like, a lot of these people like did not manage their finances properly, and they need it. Like,
it's really that simple. All right, let's talk about actual fights. Dominic Reyes knocked out Chris Weidman in 1 minute and 43 seconds with a step back counter right. Perfectly landed shot. He defended takedown attempts. He was able to
And he got back up.
I was going to get there. He was able to get back up after a brief takedown by Chris. I don't know if they even scored it as a takedown. I will check. Yeah, they did. They scored it as a takedown, but he was able to get right back up. He was able to defend the takedown attempts in the clinch, and then he was able to hit that beautiful counter right. It shows us that he has at least a really good initial and even secondary layer of takedown defense. It doesn't show us how he would do in a longer fight like this, where he's constantly getting wrestled. But, I mean, what else is there for Reyes?
It's light heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if Jones remembers to wrestle, I'm curious. But if this is contested on the feet,
I'm not actually sure that Jones' problem is forgetting to wrestle, to be honest. I think he just kind of needs to be super confident in the clinch for him to actually try something.
I don't think that's true.
Well, no, he tried against Thiago Santos, and Thiago Santos shrugged him off the initial layer, and then he just was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that for a while now. Just not. Whereas, like, against DC, first had DC broken in the clinch and, like, squared up against the fence before he dropped down. So,
I mean, I'm gonna take what I'm not gonna lie. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think he tried one takedown attempt and that was it, because we've seen him try 10 or 11 takedown attempts in multiple fights where he was actually failing on multiple attempts. I don't think that's true at all. And in fact, like, we know that he flat out said he's like, I wanted to strike with him, and that's something that Jones has done a ton of, even when it did not behoove him to do so. I don't really agree with that. I don't think it's that. I think you're looking at one sequence and then extrapolating from that way too much.
No, like, I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying that if he really needs to, he won't, like, force himself to spam it. What I'm saying is that, like, he generally seems to need a layer of, like, comfort for it to sort of flow more naturally out of his game these days.
I don't really think that's true. I think he's just regressed in his wrestling. I think that's a much more.
Perhaps also.
I think that's based on what we see, like, his actual clinch wrestling game is not nearly as good. I mean, for lack of a better word. Like, he's just not as effective there as he used to be when he was actually implementing his clinch wrestling. And that's normal. When you don't utilize a skill for a really long time, you start to regress in ways that make sense. Like, your timing is off, the little technical pieces that are not part of, like, the overarching idea is like, okay, I'm going to want the underhook, and here's how you get the underhook. Okay, so he's countering like this, and then, like, as the layers go on, you're going to start to forget little things.
Well, that tends to happen when you train at Jackson Wings.
That too. Well, you do regress as time goes on. That's true. There's that. So, look, I mean, who the fuck else is there? Honestly, there's Jan, who's fighting Jacare. I don't really see a point in having Jan and Reyes knock each other around. I don't see the point. Unless Jones decides to finally go to heavyweight, in which case, okay, make Jan the Jacare versus Jan Blachowicz winner fight Reyes, fine, whatever. I don't care. But
I'm sorry.
No, it's only if he goes to heavyweight. It's only if he goes to heavyweight.
Yeah, like, they said that they're probably waiting for the results of the Johnny Walker fight.
Oh, God, fucking.
To make a decision.
Well, I guess Johnny Walker might get a title shot. That'll be hilarious, at least.
I'd much rather Reyes gets it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about. It's a very short fight. Chris Weidman, I'm a huge fan of him. I think he might want to retire. I really think
he's not gonna.
No, he said he's not. He said he's going to be back. I don't know who he's going to fight. I don't know what weight class. I don't know. Man, it's rough, and I do wish him the best, and I hope he's okay. That's it.
Yeah, it's very, very much reminiscent of Luke Rockhold.
Yeah,
the fact that the skills are there, but if you can take the damage that you're getting hit with, like,
yeah, pretty much.
He's not getting the opportunity to work. That's a problem.
Yeah,
and yeah, I agree. Like, I wonder what's next for Reyes though. Like, yeah, like, probably a fight with Jones.
Either Jones or he's going to fight the winner of Jacare versus Jan if they give Walker the title shot. Who's Walker fighting again? He's fighting.
I don't remember, but
he's
nuts.
It's a kind of amazing, like, just in the weirdest and worst ways. But
he's
just fought Serkinov. He's fighting Corey Anderson. He's fighting Corey.
Can
Anderson.
I just say I don't fucking understand what's happening with MMA between, like, Reyes and what's his face? Because, like, Reyes is an actually good product shit at light heavyweight that no one else in the division does. Like, who the fuck pivots at light heavyweight? Or,
yeah, that's
like a plate back counter.
Well, yeah.
And then Johnny Walker comes around, pops his arm doing the worm, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he's going to beat John Jones.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't think they're going to give it to Walker. It doesn't make any. Like Corey Anderson's ranked number 7 behind Reyes and Jan.
Like even if they don't, like they're talking Walker up so much, but like he's so far only really done memes.
Well, he would literally get knocked into next year by Reyes. Like Reyes would knock him right the fuck out.
Very probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an actually good light heavyweight versus an above average athlete at light heavyweight.
No, Walker's a good athlete. Like that,
No,
that's not.
No, I said Walker's
that's not above average.
I don't think above average. I don't think above average. Yeah, I don't think above average is the right words to use here. He's a plus athlete.
Fine, but okay,
he's a plus athlete.
But he still has like a meme as fuck game.
Oh yeah, his game sucks.
Of course.
But like
if he were like 10 pounds lighter, I wouldn't. If you were like 10 pounds lighter, I wouldn't be surprised if he came out like Michelle, what's his face, who was
Ferreira?
Yes.
Maybe.
Like, you know he'd try that. If someone survived more than 10 seconds, he'd be flipping over the octagon.
Yeah. Also, he's probably going to knock out He's probably going to knock out Corey Anderson, though.
Imagine if he beats Corey Anderson, he gets a title shot, and then he knocks out John Jones.
I don't know what to say to that anymore. We would need.
Yeah, either Jan Blachowicz or Reyes is going to knock Jones out. Jan, because like the parallels between Luke Rockhold and Michael Bisping are really, really strong between those two games. And like Reyes, because he's like good.
Reyes is actually good, and Jan is also actually good, but also like just.
Well, Jan is like Michael Bisping of light heavyweight.
He's just unassuming enough that Jones would come in stupidly cocky and get knocked silly.
Exactly.
I think is this the moment? Like, are we in the times of the end of John Jones' reign at light heavyweight? Because
I think
it feels
so.
like the dude.
I think one way or anher. Either
well,
he gets beat or he just moves up to heavyweight.
Yeah, remember, his worst performances have come against people who are not good strikers striking against him, except like Thiago Santos.
Who's also not a good striker, but he's a really good kicker. who had one leg.
He's better than Gustafsson and like DC, and both of them gave John Jones fits and stuff.
That's true. Well, that's the thing. Like Reyes, someone was talking about it on Twitter. A couple of people were talking about it on Twitter last night. They were talking about how like Reyes is an interesting case study in that like. You have to have a champion who's been dominant for so long for somebody like Reyes to come along who is kind of tailor-made to giving them issues. Like Reyes really is. He's got size parity with Jones, so that's a big deal right off the bat. Athletic parity with Jones as well. He can fight off the back foot clearly. He has a good kicking game. Obviously, his power and punching ability are there. His power punching ability is there. He can pressure. He could fight at range. Showed already that he has, at least in the beginning, really good takedown defense. Which is why he's struggled with Volkan more than I think he would struggle with Jones, just because of the stylistic matchup. Where he's gonna kick Jones's legs. He's gonna kick Jones's legs. He's gonna be able to get through Jones's quote unquote boxing defense. Like at range and in the clinch. Like he's going to have.
If Jones doesn't choose to wrestle yet.
Are you talking about John Jones flailing his arms wildly?
Yes,
like,
that boxing defense.
His boxing defense is better than DC's.
What?
Like DC at least moves his head in one direction.
Yeah. To the same direction every single time. That's the thing. Like at least DC picked up some head movement, and by head movement I mean like literally only to one side. But Jones is like, no, if I stretch my arms out long enough, they won't be able to hit me. Oh shit, they're hitting me.
It'll make the problem go away.
Yeah, just like Jones is one of those guys who genuinely like, if he was at lightweight, he would.
He would die.
He'd be James Vick.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, but like with more durability, but like similar dynamic.
He would be. Yeah. I mean, I mean, we've seen like he's kind of tall Lando Venata.
yeah.
Kind of joking.
Lando Venata has head movement
I know you're
in the
joking,
first round.
but
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. I'm not serious. Like Lando's actually more skilled than Jones, but
yeah, like he has head movement in the first round. So.
Yeah, and then he forgets it and goes to war. All right, we're gonna move on.
Jones comes out forgetting it.
We're gonna move on.
Hey man, he would be champion now if he hadn't lost those fights. Okay.
Yair Rodriguez versus Jeremy Stephens. I very much enjoyed this fight.
Fun.
It was a good fight.
Yes, virtual fighter. That's like watching someone play virtual fighter.
Yair Rodriguez kicked Jeremy Stephens because Jeremy didn't know how to stop it, and then gassed himself out trying to finish him after that body kick. Oh my God!
I refuse to say that. Yeah, he tried finishing him. It looked like he was practicing his drum solo.
That was, first of all, yeah. Those hammer fists were so fucking stupid. Then Jeremy Stephens realized, like, oh, he doesn't actually have anything other than really, really like just naked kicks. So. I'm gonna walk forward.
No.
Hold on a second.
He did a few really cute things out there, even with the kicks.
What?
Yeah.
So
like he did a bunch of things out there. Like his hands look better, even though they're kind of a mess. His hands look better. He was countering better. He was.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me break down what I had in mind.
He looked quite bad. I'm not gonna lie. Aside from
No. We're not saying he looked objectively good. We're just saying he looked better than before. But he was doing.
I don't think he looked any better than he did in the Korean Zombie fight. I think the kicks looked better because of the fact that Jeremy Stephens had zero fucking clue how to stop them. But
what?
One second. He was throwing naked body kicks at a dude just standing at range because he can.
Yeah, but listen.
But of course, I'm not saying it was a bad idea. But when Jeremy Stephens starts to, I don't know if he would ever call it an adjustment, but when Jeremy Stephens catches them or something, first of all, Anita, I'm bringing up this fight IQ thing again. If you drop somebody with a body kick, maybe, just a thought, if you can't finish them immediately, and just another thought, stop hitting them to a shelled up head because you're too wild and aggressive and want to punch them in the face. Like, hit them in the body. Or maybe, I don't know, back off and make them stand up because clearly Jeremy Stephens couldn't stand up, which would have gotten him a TKO. Yeah. Jesus. It's like, come on, think for a half a fucking second in the cage. Like, it's not like he doesn't have experience in there. All right? The guy is already experienced enough that he shouldn't be making these kinds of dumbass mistakes. And this is a guy who's clearly got excellent cardio. We've seen him go 5 rounds in Mexico City at an insane pace on the feet with Caceres. But
it wasn't Mexico City. That wasn't in Mexico City. That was elsewhere.
It was in Mexico at Elevation.
No. It was at Elevation, but it wasn't in Mexico City.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Jair has never fought in Mexico City.
Are you doubting the Mexican?
For the UFC. No, but he's right. It was.
You know why?
You're cutting out.
You know why I think everyone. You know why I think everyone should just emulate instead of like. If they don't have time to actually get like...
Oh, you're right. It wasn't even in Mexico. It's in Salt Lake City. My bad. Sorry.
No.
And he did fight. He did fight in Mexico City, like against Jeremy Stephens for 15 seconds.
That didn't happen.
But I'm right.
He also fought in Mexico City twice before that against Charles Rosa and Leonardo Morales.
Mexico City?
Yeah, really? Both times. UFC 180.
Oh yeah, that was the one where he was like puking afterwards, right?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Yeah, Bilal, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, like, everyone should just emulate Matt Brown's ground striking game if they're not actually good at ground striking. Because, like, he just followed a few simple things like, push the legs aside, knee the body if they shell up. Like, simple things like that. Like, you don't have to flail wildly.
Yeah, and that was
need a
terrible
deep ground game.
It was terrible ground and pound. And credit to, we got to give credit to Jeremy Stephens for coming back from that. Because that was... just Jesus Christ.
He got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
but here's the thing: when it comes to like, he also made a choice there that he was not going to fight on the feet. Like, what the things that he was doing on the ground, like it didn't look to me like he was coming too close to a finish. Like he was landing damage, but it wasn't
Talking about
significant.
Yair?
No, Jeremy Stephens.
No. He was never close to
round.
finish. He was never close to finish.
And he would have, like, he made a concession there that on the feet he was not going to be successful, so he was going to put all his eggs in this basket.
Well, he had to.
Yeah.
I do want to say that, like, Yair was doing a ton of, like, few things there. So, like, that body kick you mentioned basically just froze up Stephens' right hand. Then also those linear kicks to kind of help space him. And when Stephens tried stepping forward, Yair would just throw his own right hand or left hand down the pipe to kind of like dissuade him from, stepping in range haphazardly. And like
he also countered him effectively.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like so when Yair would kick and Stephens would try to step into it to land, the classic straight counter to a kick, then Yair would just drop his leg where Stephens was and then throw his own counter at Stephens. So like that kind of locked Stephens out at range, because I think I mentioned this last week, but I don't think he's that good at dealing with footwork, and obviously the root cause of that is his own footwork. So like he just couldn't stop himself from coming in on a straight line, and then Yair would tag him repeatedly like that. Which I mean,
it's really
it
was a really odd thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Yair like a good boxer by any means, but like that was enough for Stephens.
Yeah, see, this fight was strange to watch. I mean, it was fun, but at the same time, you see him like he's nullifying a technical game with things that are not technical, because he just has this insane athleticism that he can afford to literally stay like still in front of you. Like Yair was standing still, like just square in front of Stephens, and he wasn't even bouncing. He was literally standing almost static. And then he would flash something, and then he would back out. And it's kind of like that's going to work like for a couple years more maybe. And then when his athleticism starts dwindling, like we're going to see like a dramatic drop off there. Because
so when he gets to the Barboza stage of his career.
Yeah, like, but it's going to be significant because, like, the things that, and I like Yair, like, I think he's amazing, it's super fun in an equal price way, but like the things that he needs to do in order to not find himself in these situations, like he's not necessarily doing them. Like he's like in punches, he literally moves his legs, like he literally carry his head to the side or whatever he needs to move. Like he has head movement, like he has added head movement, and in general you could say like the Jair Rodriguez things that he does them better now. Like I don't think he's just the same as he was, but they're still not like
he's not improving in ways that are actually going to objectively make him a better fighter, in my opinion. He's improving in ways that make him a better Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes that's what you have, but
holy
the
shit,
problem is
that felt profound. That felt profound. I want credit for that.
No, yeah, like it's not bad. Like he's still gonna be really, really good for as long as this holds, as his body holds. The problem is that even now, like relative to the division, like the skills that he needs, like if Jeremy Stephens can hold you against a cage, even if he's not landing a ton of damage, and if he can hold you on the ground, like that spells disaster against somebody like Volkanovski. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's spells disaster against somebody like, and it's somebody like Edgar, like we saw, spell disaster against anybody that is well versed with clinch work. I mean, he's still gonna be fun, but like the things that he has to improve on, he does not appear to be improving on them. So it's probably gonna be difficult from now on. Like he could probably beat Brian Ortega.
Who?
Against Matt
KZ?
Holloway.
What about KZ?
Jair. Jair. He could probably beat Brian Ortega if Brian Ortega beats Casey.
Oh, I actually don't think that would be the case. I think that's actually a bad fight for. I think that would be a bad fight for him.
Surprisingly,
I
wouldn't pick him. I wouldn't pick him to win.
I would not pick him to beat
surprised
Ortega.
If he beats Aldo. No, not
I
Ortega. I was gonna say Aldo.
Wouldn't either.
I was gonna say Aldo.
No. Just let me finish this thought, and you take over. I'm not saying that he would win. I say that he could probably beat him, like maybe like a 40-60%, right? Like he has a chance. Like it's not like doesn't seem to me like he would be a wash. But like it's not like a prohibitive like situation where it would be like, yeah, man, like 50-50. Who knows? Like no, like from here on out, like it's going to get increasingly difficult. Like if he fights Sabit, which people are talking about, right? Well, I mean, shit, like the thing that the Jeremy Stephens couldn't do in this fight, like Calvin Kattar, he's gonna do those things, and he's more technical than Stephens. And Jair, I don't think that he's beating Kattar. Just in the short, like middle range exchange, having trouble with, I don't think Kattar would have problem with those. And yeah, like he's gonna get like from here on out, like. It's not going to be a fun time for him. Like he needs to fix these things, and he needs to fix them pronto, because like he fights in a way that it's going to get him damaged, like a lot. Anyways, someone take it up from here.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't pick him. I wouldn't pick him against Ortega, to be honest, just because he's a god player when the fight is ground. I wouldn't pick anyone who wants to play god against Ortega.
Yeah, that's fair. I meant on the feet, but that's fair.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he beats Aldo at this stage in his career. Just because Aldo's become so kind of defensively focused that I think he might get shut out by a high volume kicking game. A little. Even if Yair doesn't do that much damage, like I feel like he might just get shut out by it. Because we've seen Robbie Lawler take a similar kind of like journey in his game, where he gets shut out by high volume range tools, and like Aldo seems to be kind of on that trajectory, even if he's still better defensively. So I still wouldn't pick him in that fight, but like I wouldn't be surprised if he beat Aldo.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, it's about the best person he can beat, I think.
I mean, it would also depend on, here's the thing: if you push Aldo, he pushes back. So I don't know if Yair. Hold on. I don't know.
But Aldo gets kind of in a defensive shell these days.
Only 1 second. He went into a defensive shell against Renato Moicano and against Jeremy Stephens? Or only against Alexander Volkanovski, who played a very peck-at-you-from-distance volume kickboxing game and also had the strength and the durability and skills in the clinch to shut Aldo down there.
Yeah, but
Yair does not have any of it. Hold on a second. You think that Yair can compete with Aldo in the clinch?
No, but like Aldo's not a dominant force in the clinch anyway.
Because,
like I said, I wouldn't.
In what way would you say he's not dominant? Every person who's ever clinched up with him has been virtually nullified in every way, shape, and form. Aldo's a nullifier. So if you try to use your offense in the clinch,
when they try to clinch up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when he tries to use the clinch offensively.
When has he ever tried to use the clinch offensively? Ever.
Alexander Volkanovski, Max
he did not
Holloway,
try to use them against Alpha. What are you talking about? Max Holloway.
He tried.
When did he use the clinch against Holloway? He was on the outside the whole time.
Watch the second fight.
What are you talking about?
Just watch the fight.
That wasn't offense. That's literally because he didn't want to get hit anymore. That's not offense. That's literally using it as a safety blanket. That's the opposite of offense. That's defensive use.
And Max Holloway pushed him out instantly.
But that's not what offense is. Offense is when you grab a clinch to land damage. He was using it to stop damage being landed on him. That is the exact opposite of using a clinch offensively. Initiating a clinch does not mean you're offensively using the clinch. When Holly Holm...
But he couldn't get any offense in that.
Because he didn't try really hard. He was using it to stop. He was using it to stifle punches landing on him, not to land offense of his own. That's the opposite of what he was doing.
Well,
that's
what
ridiculous.
else would he do in the middle of the cage? If he did get the clinch, what
did
else
Holly Holm use the clinch against? Hold on. Holly Holm used the clinch offensively against Ronda Rousey, or did she use it as a safety blanket to prevent Ronda from being able to barrel forward at her again and again and again? She did not use it offensively. She wasn't using it to land hard strikes. She was using it as a reset. So again, your entire point is because he initiated, he was using it offensively. That's ridiculous. And no,
wait. Name the last fight where Aldo was able to use the clinch offensively.
He never tried. But whenever he was using the clinch because his opponents initiated them, he was able to completely nullify them and shuck them off because he wasn't allowing them to implement their games. The best
because of that, we are saying that he's a good offensive clinch fighter.
I didn't say he's a good offensive clinch fighter. I'm saying he's better than Yair Rodriguez, who doesn't really have a clinch.
We haven't seen him actually win a clinch fight.
Because Yair's clinch game is fucking garbage.
Who has he?
Yeah, but like when have we seen
Who has he used the clinch game effectively against?
Well, defensively, Jeremy Stephens couldn't get a clean shot during the first 2 rounds. Like when he had him against the cage, he could not get a single clean shot there.
Yeah, I'm not talking about offense in terms of defending a takedown. He's okay.
Not taking punches.
No, he's okay. Punching.
If Jeremy Stephens cannot touch you, he's okay. It's not controversial to say this.
What are you talking about?
He's okay. You're saying that his offense, okay, no, go on.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
No, because you said that his clinch game is
Alejandro.
Garbage. What?
Okay, I'm letting you continue. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, no. Okay, I understood.
I was letting you keep going.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. No, because I understood that you said that Yair's clinch game is garbage. Offensively, yes. But defensively, he's not too bad.
Okay, but I understand that. I'm talking about we're talking about doing damage or being able to nullify Aldo from shutting down his clinch.
No, he's not gonna do that.
Exactly. Volkanovski was able to stop Aldo from doing anything. His defense in the clinch was nullified by Volkanovski's strength and overpower. Volkanovski overpowered Aldo in the clinch. Yair's not going to do that.
Okay, wait.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I think we're talking about this from 2 different points of view. I wasn't talking about this in terms of Yair initiating the clinch to beat Aldo up in there. I was talking about it in terms of Yair shutting Aldo on the outside because Aldo is generally super, I wouldn't call him defensive, but he's very defensively minded these days.
Yes.
Which is sort of that same path we've seen Robbie Lawler on.
No, I agree with that.
And then if Aldo then tried pushing into the clinch, I don't see Aldo making a lot of headway.
But why would Aldo have to push into the clinch? There's a space in between outside and the clinch, man. There's like a whole middle ground there. What are you talking about? Why can't he push past Yair's range and get into mid-range and then work from there? What does he have to push into the clinch for? That's number one. Number two, hold on. Number two.
God damn, Ben.
1 second. You didn't even let me say my main point. Is that Alexander Volkanovski never put the fight into past second gear. It's like you're just fucking saying like Max Holloway was able to beat him by forcing Aldo into 5th gear and never letting him leave it, thus he gassed out. Alexander Volkanovski beat him by bringing it back to 2nd gear and never letting it get out of there, so Aldo just never pushed. Yair Rodriguez has never shown the ability to sit in 2nd gear because he's going to throw hard kicks, he's going to try and hurt Aldo. That's the way he fucking fights. That's my point. So he's going to push Aldo to a point where we don't know if Yair can eat that kind of damage, just like Renato Moicano couldn't, and like Jeremy fucking Stevens couldn't.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't trust Aldo to show up like that every fight because Robbie Lawler was exactly the same.
He did it 2 fucking fights ago.
Listen, no, I'm saying
why are you so mad?
I'm not. It's ridiculous. You're literally forgetting the 2 fights. You're doing the.
Shut the fuck up.
You're forgetting the 2 fights before the Volkanovski fight. Literally, he's 2-1 in his last 3, right? Since the Max Holloway fights, 2-1. The 2 fights he won, he showed that he can absolutely beat the fucking shit out of people still. But Volkanovski
with quick flurries.
Robbie Lawler showed
the same ability in his recent fights.
But the difference is that you have to have the ability to not only overwhelm him with volume, but also force him to fire back. Let's put it very simply. Yair Rodriguez does not have the same tools Max Holloway does. Period.
Does he have the same durability?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because like Max Holloway, like he has good tools, but like he ate bombs and like his durability saved him in that
but
fight.
his boxing is infinitely better, and so is his footwork, and so is his cage positioning.
Yeah, but can Aldo push that? Second gear every single round?
He doesn't. Who said he? No, we know he can't. That's not my point at all. I 100% agree with you that he can't. But can Yair Rodriguez handle? Can Yair Rodriguez handle Aldo's past second gear for longer than a round? Because Jeremy Stevens couldn't. Jeremy Stevens couldn't. And Renato Moicano couldn't do it. So why are we assuming that you're... What? Your phone is overheating? I don't even know how to respond to that.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's like really hot, so I don't know if it's gonna...
Okay, if it craps out, we know what happened. But I'm saying, like, you're basically saying that, well... The fight, okay, so the fights before Aldo won, right? Max Holloway. We saw him get overwhelmed by Max Holloway.
Yeah.
The fights after he won, 2 straight. What the hell?
Holy shit.
What the fuck was that?
Demons.
Bilal?
We have demons.
No, he's muted. That wasn't him.
Shit.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Anyway, that was weird.
Why are we raging about Jose Aldo? Jesus,
we're not. We're raging about Yair Rodriguez being able to like. It's like you forgot the 2 fights in between his last. Like it's that's what's frustrating to me. You're doing the same shit people do.
Robbie Lawler was exactly the same though.
Robbie Lawler is not Jose Aldo. I love Robbie. He's not.
You know who Jose Aldo is like? Ben, listen. Ben, listen. You know who Jose Aldo is exactly like? Exactly, Polo Reyes.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Alejandro.
Oh my god. Is he Brazilian Polo Reyes? We had white
He's
Polo Reyes. He's
Reyes.
Brazilian Polo Reyes. Okay, we do have to move on.
No, Ginger Polo Reyes.
We do actually have to move on.
Yes,
we do actually have to move on.
Yes,
Greg Hardy, no contest.
I don't want to talk about this. Just move on.
Just fuck Greg Hardy. Joe Lauzon had an incredible performance against Jonathan Pearce. That was beautiful.
Oh, yes.
It was in his hometown of Boston. It could not have gone better. He beat the shit out of him on the feet. He took him down, put him in that nasty control position from back mount. Oh, I love it. I'm so happy.
I think it was like a weird half Nelson, wasn't it?
It wasn't a half Nelson. It was a half Nelson, but with the wrong arm. So like instead of using his right arm to hold it behind, he was using his left arm. He brought it around. It pinned him. It was kind of like almost Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. It was more like the Lesnar-Mir position where he like had his arm around and was holding and preventing him from blocking. Except that in this case, against Mir, he wrapped around Mir's far arm. So it would be in this case Pearce's and Mir's left arm. That's what Brock had. Lauzon had control over his right arm, and it was preventing him from blocking. And Pearce's own body was preventing him from blocking with the other.
I love positions like that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
To be honest.
If Pearce was able to, he should have tried turning with the holds to try and maybe get out a back mount, but like that's it. There's really not what she could have done there. He was kind of fucked. Also,
if he turned with the holds, wouldn't he just? If he turned with the,
it would get him. It would put him on his back, but he'd still be in the position.
If Lauzon released the hooks, wouldn't he be able to then take full mount?
Yes, but it would be a lot better than whatever the fuck that was.
I don't know. Like, if you can't escape that position, I'd rather not try full mount.
Trust me on this.
Okay.
That is horrifying. You have no idea. His shoulder my shoulder would have popped out. Like, legitimately. That was a horrifyingly...
Yeah, but that's because you have Cain Velasquez joints, Ben.
What? No, that's true. I can't imagine Pearce's shoulder is you know.
I hope he got the massage afterwards. Yeah.
But yeah, great for Joe Lauzon. He said he's not sure whether he's going to retire or not. But
Dana White says
you know what Dana should aim as.
So go fuck yourself, Dana.
No, Dana should just offer him a job in the IT department.
I don't think he has that ability anymore.
Well, you don't have to as long as you manage.
Okay.
Can you imagine like telling Joe Lauzon that you can't complete an IT task for some other reason? The guy just staring at you, like you come to him and then like Joe Lauzon's cauliflower ears just stare right back at you as you tell him you can't do
it. No, you better do it. Anyways, yeah. No, look, I want him to retire. Like,
I want him to do. I want him to retire. He's coming off a 3-fight losing streak before this. I don't need to see him keep fighting, and he's had an amazing career. 26 out of 28 wins were finishes. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, that's nuts.
Plus, now that BJ Penn has been released, there's no one else for him to fight. So
that too. All right. Last thing we're going to talk about, I think, on this card is second last thing. Maycee Barber versus Jillian Robertson. She defeated her by TKO in the first round, 3 minutes in. I mean, she's all offense.
That stoppage was early.
I don't know about that, but it was definitely like Jillian didn't.
That was a very woman's MMA stoppage. I keep that there, but like
Jillian had no complaints. Jillian had zero complaints.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna argue with that one. I'm not.
Yeah, here's the thing, like. It would have to be like an argument about what we call like intelligence, like because in MMA you are allowed to keep fighting if you show intelligent defense, but extant defense sometimes doubles for intelligent defense just because it's there. People think that you should be allowed to continue, and Robertson didn't look very intelligent at that point, so I'm okay with it. Like I can understand if people say that it is like premature, but I'd much rather have these finishes and err on the side of caution like this than fucking. I think I'm just gonna give him one more chance, and that one more chance becomes like 50 more chances because he showed a little life each time. I'm okay with this finish, and I like Barber. I like her offense.
Can I also just say that the nickname is the worst? The nickname is
future.
The worst.
Yeah.
Like aside from that, not really aging well.
It's gonna change.
But like her surname is Barber, so it's Maycee, the future Barber.
No, I hear you. Yeah, no, look, it's gonna change. The thing is that Barber right now has this thing about youngness. As I see, she wants to be young and whatever, like it. So it's built in the name. So it's gonna change at some point in the future. Kind of like how Rory went from Waterboy to the Red King or whatever he became after.
What? So she's just going to become the current.
What?
Is her nickname just going to? Yeah, is her nickname just going to become the current after all?
Look, these people don't look that give them nicknames in MMA. They don't look like they're very imaginative. So I think she's just going to become the present at some point. Like, wait for it. She's going to become the present. Okay.
All right. I mean, it was also the fact that the commentary was kind of just. I don't want to say riding from nuts, but like kind of riding from nuts.
Sucking at the teeth.
Like, oh god. Yeah. Dude, like these guys didn't quite notice that Robertson was having quite a bit of success.
Yeah, she was outstriking her from the outside. Like just flat out. Like Jillian landed nothing from the clinch. She landed 12 strikes, 11 of them were from distance, and they were all basically before the distance was closed. Like, it was bad. Like, it's bad. She's not. Maycee is just like, she's getting, her chin is full, just right up in the air. She's not, like, she's doing like stupid, like, I don't know what else to call them, but Connor things. Like,
see, I would say that you're being too harsh, but the problem is that there's this narrative already cooking that she wants to be a champion in 2 years, and that's the problem because you have to sort of start looking at it from this standpoint of, well, are the skills there? And they're not.
They should give her that. Yeah.
There's a world of difference between her and like Sabina Mazo or like Kim Ji-jeon, I think is her name, you know, Fire Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a world of difference there. And they have to like bring her up slowly because she's gonna get hurt. Like some of these bigger ladies, like they're gonna hurt her because she needs to work a lot on that defense. A lot.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be totally fine just watching Liz Carmouche smush her.
Well, yeah, but one day she's also gonna have to pass the eye test. So.
Yeah. And right now she definitely
Jessica
does.
eye test. The Jessica eye test.
I takes her down, screams about how wrestling wins fights and shit like that. I don't know.
Oh, please.
Oh my god. Okay, well, the last thing we're gonna talk about is Tanner Boser, because my dude got the very clear victory over Daniel Spitz. Is it Rick Little? Rick Little. From Spokane, Washington at Sick Jitsu, who doesn't think leg kicks and body kicks work. So Daniel Spitz got kicked to shit from the outside.
To be fair, does body work actually exist? Does body work actually exist?
Look, in defense of Rick Little, if you check those things, or if you go down from body shots, you're a pussy.
Exactly, right, in his defense. But Tanner Boser landed 35 leg kicks out of 38, so against Daniel Spitz. So that just shows how big of a non-pussy Daniel Spitz is. And we should talk about that. But no, shout out to Tanner Boser. Talked to the guy on Twitter. I wanted to send him jerky, but he wasn't in the U.S. long enough, so I'm going to try and figure out how to send it to Canada for him. And that mullet, man, god damn, that was majestic. That was fucking majestic, right?
I like that he's making a comeback, man.
Yeah. Did either of you watch the fight? Honestly,
I did not.
That's
I'm
fine.
Just happy that
Go take it. It's not necessarily a barn burner or anything like that. But I want you to go watch Tanner Boser fight. That guy has more skills than probably 90% of UFC heavyweights. Like technical ability. I'm not joking.
No, the bar isn't very high. I mean, Greg Hardy won a quote unquote
Tanner
fight.
Boser would beat Greg Hardy. No jokes.
Probably.
No. He would. I'm not kidding. I would love to see Tanner Boser just fucking like kick the shit out of Hardy's legs for 3 rounds.
Well, you do know that Greg Hardy is going to be like the UFC MVP. So.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the final fight on the card. Not the final fight on the card. The next card for one fight we're going to talk about. Damian Maia, Ben Askren. Who do you got taking it? Why? Where? How? Etc.
Can I just say this? The entire fight is going to play out like this. They are going to start out at range. Maia is going to kickbox the shit out of Askren. After 2 rounds, Maia is going to gas. And then it's going to turn into like a really grimy clinch fest where Askren doesn't want to go to the ground with Maia, but Maia can't take Askren to the ground. And like, we are going to be transported into a different reality.
I disagree. I do think Askren will try to take Maia down.
Do you really think he'll do that?
Yes, I don't think he's afraid to do it.
I kind of think he would be hesitant because like he trained Tyron Woodley for the Maia fight and like Tyron stayed the fuck out of the ground.
Tyron Woodley is not nearly he's not nearly as, I would say, adept at submission grappling as Ben Askren is.
But Askren got swept when he tried BJJ positions in one before. He's really good at rides and stuff, but like they aren't really as potent positions offensively. They're kind of more positions where you can rack up a try to damage, even if it's to the head.
Right, but one, that is exactly what Askren needs to do: rack up a try of damage, because that's going to gas out Maia quicker. And 2, he's going to be safe in those positions.
Counterpoint: between 2 ground specialists, when have we seen them actually go to the ground willingly?
Jason McDonald versus Damian Maia, Jake Shields versus Damian Maia.
Jake Shields doesn't count.
Why?
Why not?
Because like Jake Shields, like he is the proto Khabib.
What?
Oh
like,
God!
I can't think of any other way to put it.
Okay.
But like,
probably because it's not a good way to put it.
Well, no, like his striking is horrible, but he has good. His striking is horrible, but he has good enough feel that it's hard to finish him there or make a lot of headway. His ground game is phenomenal, both from on top and the bottom. But it's kind of like phenomenal in the way. What you mean?
Jake Shields does not have a phenomenal bottom game. I like Shields' game, but he's not a phenomenal guard player.
Well, no, but you can still be good on the bottom and not be a guard player. I mean,
he's good on the bottom. First of all, Maia is a really good guard player. Secondly,
really? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen like Maia and pure BJJ.
No. I'm saying like
at
that level, you have a great guard. There's no you just are very proficient. I'm not saying Jake Shields is bad off his back. I'm saying it's not like Vitor, but
look, he's a black belt. I was told he was a black belt.
He is a black belt. The problem is that he also punches out of mouth. So I don't know.
But didn't you learn the secret BJJ technique yet, Ben? Throwing like 10 punch combinations as you march forward.
I was more referring to him punching Chris Weidman from out of mouth, but whatever.
No, I think it's funny because, see, Bilal, you say it like it's a joke, but he actually did that against Wanderlei Silva in one of those all UFC events, and it worked.
Yeah, and then afterwards he screamed jiu-jitsu over and over again. Like it was some secret black belt technique there the Gracies keep to themselves and never show anyone. It's like right, left. Fuck that.
Fucking Tekken combo. 2 buttons. One.
He was like 19 and he looked like he ate 2 19-year-olds.
Yes, he did.
It's just, listen, I don't.
What has he been doing this?
I don't know how Maia's going to get it to the ground. Because I don't think he's taking down Askren. That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. He's gonna out kickbox him on the outside.
But I do think that Askren will take him to the ground. That's the thing. I think he'll try as time goes on. I think we will see Askren get outstruck for a round at least. Also,
is it 5 rounds?
Maia doesn't have phenomenal takedown defense. I just realized that. Like, he doesn't.
One question. Like, this fight is 5 rounds, right?
Yeah, he's gonna gas.
Yeah. No. Maia doesn't really. Yeah, he's been taken down before, but he's always then tried sweeping up from guard with like.
No, I know that, but
it's either a sweep or he'll sit up into like an underhook and then try pulling the single leg from out.
That's what I do. That's my technique.
Shit. Yeah, I think Askren is gonna win.
Unfortunately, I think that
Alejandro.
Yes.
Alejandro. Fuck you, Maia.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm wrong. Maia's gonna win.
It's nice. It is nice to not be on the receiving end of the you. So that's nice.
Fuck you, though. Maia for life, bro.
No. Listen, I really do, and I really want him to win. Who's the last wrestler he beat?
Shut up, Ben.
Seriously, I don't think...
If you believe it, if you really believe it in your heart, it can become true, okay? So if I believe that Maia is going to win by TKO, he's going to win by TKO.
Man, I don't know. I want him to win so bad. Fuck.
No, it is difficult. It's a difficult one. Look.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. It's been a weird one. Bilal,
lots of screaming.
Bilal, I would apologize to you for yelling at you, but your fucking opinion was stupid.
No, you should apologize.
Why? You yelled at me too. Go fuck yourself, both of you.
Yeah, but you yelled more.
So what? I was more right.
Oh, so that's how it works.
Yeah. All right. Say goodbye, guys.
Later. Take care, people.